All right, guys, welcome back to another live show. Believe everyone can hear me just fine. At least on my end, I can hear myself at least. Yeah, so it shows we have audio and stuff, so you guys can see me and all that. Good to be back. I'm in a good mood, having fun. Got a pretty interesting show actually. I think we're gonna have a fun show as we're gonna slide back into the regular schedule of programming, and we actually have quite a few different actually shows that are going to be lined up and posted after the show gets done and over with. I have some stuff lined up for a couple weeks now. So as we get geared up and stuff to end this year and get ready for the new year, we got a couple of interesting topics that we're going to go across and look at and stuff. Looking at this new feature that um, Stream is telling me is because they're always updating this stuff. Okay, don't need that. But I'm happy to be here. Glad that you guys can hear me and stuff. Good on the confirmation. So yeah, we are going to talk about quite a few different topics, but today's topic is the artificial intelligence takeover, which has already begun over the last couple years, but weekly it is evolving rapidly, and we got some new cool videos that show you and stuff and see where things are going, and even show the nightmare that is already begun. And we're going to be seeing, especially with some predominant names that you probably would recognize and stuff that are kind of on the forefront of doing this. So hopefully everyone's doing good, whether you're watching this live, watching this after the fact, whenever, in the morning, afternoon, or nighttime. I hope you're having a wonderful time and enjoying yourself. I've been. I wish I would have been on here a little bit more for you guys and had more fun with you guys, but I can say that I actually enjoyed myself and doing stuff and working on stuff. And let's just say we'll have a scheduled program for the next couple weeks. So expect to keep seeing me. All right, let me pull up some of the first stuff that is, just obviously stuff that you're seeing and stuff that, is out there. And we're going to get into the more craziness, I think, as the videos progress and stuff. So where to begin? Which one? I think everyone enjoys a good time at the grandma's house or has memories, with, the cookie stash and all the treats that grandma would give you and stuff. And I do. What's going on? I do have to say this for YouTube's copyright infringement stuff.
Nice and easy. That's it.
That every video that you see on here's AI and stuff. This is all for commentary purposes. I'm actually viewing it, making commentary related to the Bigfoot community and our subject matter and stuff, fully disseminating it, the information, and so there is no copyright infringement bullcrap and any frivolous attempt by YouTube, especially by YouTube, to instigate as a third party other content creator, anyone else to infringe upon that is going to met with dealt with the same way as harassment and stuff, because a lot of these claims are frivolous, especially when we do commentary on some of these videos and stuff that we typically do on here, or any video that we want to watch typically, as long as we especially get it off YouTube or the news sources and stuff. There is no copyright infringement, which YouTube tried to do on some of these last videos. So we fight that here, and you should fight that elsewhere, because YouTube's policy is not law. So if they try to instigate other people to file copyright claims and then instigate them to go to court, well, it's not them that's doing it, it's YouTube. So we want to make people understand that's not okay, especially when we can show that there are plenty of other content creators and influencers, especially commentary all the time for hours and hours on creators. Not so much for the bigwigs and all that, but for us small guys, it can be a little issue that YouTube's algorithm pushes. But we are pushing back as we have the right to, and we're not doing anything wrong by viewing these videos and making comments. And I have altered it and made it my own original creation and stuff as the YouTube's policy. So we shall see how this goes. Back to old grandma taking her cookies out to the front porch and feeding a big kitty cat.
Here you go, sugar. Nice and easy. That's it. Good boy. Here you go, sugar. Nice and easy. That's it. Good boy. Here you go, sugar.
You can see.
Nice and easy. That's it. Good boy.
Tommy, what is that? Is that a bear?
No, I'm just feeding him candy.
Oh my God.
Feeding him candy.
Tommy, what is that? Is that a bear?
No, I'm just feeding him
love it.
candy.
Oh my God.
Just feeding him candy. I don't know how loud it is for you guys. Hopefully it's not like blasting your ears off, but I'm using like a different setup. So like I got to adjust it on my end. So it shouldn't go lower for you guys, but I apologize if it's too loud.
Oh my God. Tommy, what is that? Is that a bear?
No, I'm just feeding him candy.
Oh my God.
So as you can see, we'll play it without the sound and stuff.
Here you go,
As you
sugar.
can see, you can
Nice and
tell just, it's getting pretty real, they're getting stuff pretty right with, the humans, obviously, and then the animals, and then actually flowing with what they're trying to do, like this, feeding the bear and stuff. And that's, pretty smooth. It's until the mom opens up the door, then you get that interaction right there, which in obviously real life, we can use our brains to determine, this is pretty unnatural, unreliable, not reality. And as we get into these videos, especially when it pertains to evidence, is your critical thinking skills going to be enough to determine if these videos are fake or not, or AI or not? And is are other researchers or other people, who claim to be experts in whatever subject matter unrelated to Bigfoot, claim that maybe you need to be a forensic video analysis expert to be able to determine some of these videos, especially when it comes to evidence wise, with photos and videos and stuff, especially when we get to the later videos. That maybe you should be an expert before you open your mouth on such things or make comments on people's evidence of videos or pictures or any of this AI video stuff that, maybe other people would recognize as AI real quick. Maybe there are some people that view that you're not qualified unless you are professionally qualified for forensic video analysis, which I'm not sure how many people in the Bigfoot community are actually qualified for that. I guess that wouldn't leave much room to be having a conversation if there's not many people to be able to do that. But I don't think we really need to be qualified in such things to be able to critical thinking skills to determine video or especially, what's AI, what's not AI, and all of that. So let me get some other stuff rolling up in here. We'll get some more obvious stuff and we'll work our way into some more interesting stuff. But I did have to alter. Oh. So let's play this again. This over and over again. As we talk and stuff, you'll know. I clicked the wrong thing. All right, so you'll notice. There we go. So you'll notice that on these videos, and then all these videos, you'll see a pattern and stuff, especially when we show the very end of these videos. There's a pattern you'll notice with these kind of themes, what you put into the algorithms and stuff. So Void Stomper right there, and I like to follow them and stuff. is on the pretty much cutting edge of some of this AI stuff that they produce and stuff, whatever algorithms and software that they particularly like to use, AI generator. They have some pretty good videos that are pretty realistic, and they have a lot of monster videos and creature videos that are really good, actually. Pretty interesting monster-wise. We'll actually take a look at some of their stuff. And there's a couple other guys, but they're doing actually some pretty good stuff. And they have, themes that you put in there. The theme of, a tornado sweeping a dog or a cat, or you'll probably see some other videos of some other things that, get swept out of there. Or the theme of, grandma feeding stuff on the porch and stuff. Maybe you guys have seen some of these AI videos and know what I'm talking about. Feeding a dog, feeding a bear, feeding something, you put it in the generator, then you can produce 5 different kinds of videos of something on the porch that's getting swept up, whether it's a dog, a golden retriever dog, a wiener dog, or raccoon. Get this other next video up and stuff. Hopefully we have enough signal and stuff. It's a little spotty on my end, so I apologize if I cut out. So so if I lose connection and stuff, I will come back on and I will try to rejoin and all of that. And then I will, if I have to, make a new stream or something like that. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but we'll try to make this work. You never know, right? That's the fun and enjoyment when you go live. You never know what's going to go happen and all that. So especially if daddy duties call and stuff like that, then I got to abandon my commitment here because I got more official duties to attend to.
Oh, mountain lion! Hey, no!
Little bag right at the front. What the? Oh my! That's a bear. Nope. I'm out. I'm gone.
Hey, get out of here!
Oh my Lord, that's
This one's pretty realistic.
Oh my!
Oh, he got swatted.
Johnny, get out!
See, I mean, that last one actually looks pretty realistic. And what you have here is the animal interaction. Here we have Sora AI, which is on the cutting edge. And I think Sora 2 or something's coming out, the latest or whatever, latest and greatest, as they're always updating themselves. So luckily for Sora, and most people don't pay to get the watermark removed. And you can see only the very last clip actually shows very realistic simulation of animal attacks and stuff, because these are simulations like a video game or some computer generated thing. These are not real violent attacks of any sort, YouTube, so please don't take it that way, because I don't see you banning videos and commentary of video games that are being streamed live on your platform. This is the same thing. This is nothing more than computer graphics that are generated just like a video game. So should that be an issue there either? Got to cover all the bases with weak-minded corporations. So let's listen again. Let's take a look again, especially at the very end where the black bear is almost like attacking a person, except for it's actually AI. Then I'll tell you why it's AI. Obviously, this first couple, you can tell. Even without my graphics and stuff, my little artistic graphics that I made and stuff to make a little commentary and fun and lighthearted in my own unique artistic imprint to the video, therefore transforming it. Copyright rise. So as you can see, the stiffness of the lion. It's,
mountain lion! Hey!
No.
Little bag right at the
Not
front.
moving. Again, now this one's pretty good.
What the? Oh my! That's a bear. Nope.
The
nope,
reaction.
I'm gone.
Of the person.
Get out of here!
Oh my Lord, that's
This
a
one
bear.
is good. The one that's really good.
Oh my!
Oh, he got swatted.
Johnny, get out!
right? Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good, except for when you dive into the videos and stuff, you'll see that the lines are pretty stiff when it does something that, like when you notice the kittens underneath, they walk really smoothly, fluidly, but when the lion grabs it, it becomes a robotic stiff arm marionette puppet. Of course, the person in the voices, especially here, you'll notice the voices won't match what's going on. They're kind of like late. And then you notice that you got some amputees right there and a guy whose shoe is morphed and stuff. It's not getting the feet, not getting the legs correct. And it's very funny. Very funny. Put this on loop. So you see the stiff armed leg of the animal because the AI computer generation is not simulating how the animal would get off the truck and stuff because there's not many videos of something to do it. Plenty of videos of bears walking up steps and falling over. Now this one is pretty interesting, but again, you'll notice that the people right here, there's amputated, and then an old raggedy looking morphed shoe. I think I do see Bigfoot's red eye shine in there if you look closely at that video, though. So a woman farts, a bear, gets wasted and stuff, and then she's reacting as her voice is doing that kind of, I guess, English dub over like a Asian film, where they talk and then they're talking afterwards. That's basically what AI is doing on most of this conversations and stuff. And you guys will notice this and pick this up. I'm sure you guys have already seen this stuff. But especially, it's just hilarious and just hilarious. So we'll play the audio one more time, especially for the bear, because it sounds pretty good up until that point. And then when these people start talking in the crowd, it doesn't match what's going on, especially with, if there's a bear really attacking people, there's going to be people screaming. There's going to be people running around. That typically when crazy stuff happens, the camera's unsteady and stuff. People are most likely going to run, especially if the bear's coming after them. But it is actually pretty realistic looking. So let's take a listen again. The Bigfoot eye shot right there.
Oh, mountain lion! Hey! No!
Little bag right at the front. What the? Oh my! That's a bear. Nope. I'm out. I'm gone.
Hey, get out of here!
Oh my Lord, that's
Stay in your house, buddy. Go! Whoa! Oh my!
Oh, he got swatted.
Johnny, get out!
Oh my God, he got swatted. It's a delayed reaction to the response that's actually going on when real life people would be going out of their freaking minds screaming all sorts of ways. So, but you're right. Looks better than it did video quality wise. You would be surprised. I thought Foot Clan 5281 says I thought the mountain lion was real when I first saw it because it was just one tug and it looked pretty believable and all that. When it jumps onto the truck, very fluid motion that the AI has, maybe hundreds of videos, dozens of videos, hundreds of videos showing and capturing the wildlife documentaries of, how animals move and stuff. But when it gets onto the truck and grabs a deer and how it would perform getting off of the truck, the AI isn't able to visualize how that is able to actually look like in real life. And that's why you'll notice in AI videos that you'll see and what we'll show that they get all marionette puppet stiff-armed and all that. But it is going to get better and better and better. And the people are on point. They look good. Their digits look pretty intact and stuff. But how they operate and really react to the situation is not normal. Obviously, it's not really normal. So they're kind of got the AI brain going on, even though, some people, but they got the AI brain going on. So you should be able to tell about at least how they operate and act and all of that fun stuff. try to blow through these as we got a couple of them. And it's a little later and stuff. I had to, like I said, I had dad duties, make sure stuff's asleep and all that. It's an enjoyable time off that I didn't really mean for it to be so long again, but it just happens, and we have lots of news and updates, and been on a couple of different shows and stuff talking about what happened at the conference wise and activity that we had with basically two non-Bigfoot people, entry level, and had some interesting stuff happen, kind of got blown away. And this show is not necessarily about that. I actually had this show kind of planned and ready to go, but never the trigger on actually setting it up and doing it. So like I said, we're going to have a couple different shows come out. We'll do a little bit more updates as we get through some of these videos I want to make sure we actually look at and stuff. So let me do a couple things first for a second, and then we'll show this next video and get talking. Got to load up some more real quick. So just give me a second, and if you guys get any questions, comments, and concerns, I'll get to those in a second too. But it feels good to be back and stuff. Feels good. It feels like it felt like a long time, but it hasn't really been a long time. And then you get back in here and start talking away, having fun. And I tried to post this a little earlier, so I'd hopefully have some people, some little bit decent people jump on. But I know when you take these breaks and stuff, the algorithm doesn't like that at all. Okay, that one. Yes. So I guess there's this new feature on YouTube that they told me about. It's called something like you're hyping me up, you're hyping videos up, or something like that. I don't know if it's on your end. You guys have any options to do that, but if you guys want to do that, hey, do it. I'm all for it. It's free. Pretty sure you can hype some videos up or something a couple times for free. I have no idea if it's going to cost you money after that. I have no idea why they would do that kind of crazy stuff, but I don't know if you guys can hype my video up. I'd be appreciated, especially if you're not going to do it for anyone else. Just do it for me. If you don't know about it, I guess there's some kind of option. You can hype up the video and help push the algorithm in my favor. And since I took a little break, I think I need a little help with the algorithm back in my favor. How many views this video is going to get, but putting the information out there, getting the ball rolling with the discussions, showing evidence and stuff of what's actually going on, and it's going to be interesting, especially some of these other shows we have lined up. They're going to be a little bit more hard hitting, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the Bigfoot community, and a lot of a lot of stagnation that doesn't seem natural, actually. Almost seems maybe interference and gatekeeping and cover-upping. Obviously comes. Give me a second. Just dropped something that's on the desk. So there's gonna be some shows and stuff lined up on talking about some different aspects and talks, and it'd be pretty interesting, I think. I really think it'll be pretty good. We'll also have some, these are going to be live shows. We're also going to have some video versions of these same kind of things. 1, 2, 3. I think that might be the same one. Oh, okay, sweet. Alrighty. So we'll take a look at some of this monster footage from.
Oh my God, what is that?
Don't scare him.
I'm not. The lights in his eyes.
Now look how realistic
Hey,
this
dude.
thing looks.
He's really cute.
Chubby little baby.
Go! Somebody help!
Again, look how realistic it's getting. You see how realistic it is? Head down, beauty like this. Can't help it.
Harambe's got Hockey on the roof! Oh my God! Right off the cell! Hockey crashed through the table! The man's broken in half! Somebody get some
You
help
guys
out here!
remember that match back in the day?
Billy Mays here.
What about
I know
this
what
guy?
you're thinking. Why is your favorite pitchman attached to a mangy mutt? Well, I died a long time ago, but some genius with an algorithm couldn't let me rest. They stitched my face into code, printed it on me.
We're live
Yeah.
on the 405 southbound, just past Culver. That yes,
You live
is
forever
a
now in
man
AI.
wedged into a child's plastic car.
Now,
Leading
clearly
the
this
deputies
is
say he took
real.
him to a
This is
backyard
breaking
earlier
news.
this
This
Buck
is
right under
real.
me. Here we go.
You know?
Woo! Ride it. Cue to chop. 1, 2, 3.
Clearly
Ninja
this
deer
is
hunting
real,
at his
guys.
finest, boys.
I don't know what you guys are thinking. It's not AI. I mean, come on now. I think we need to have a video forensic analysis expert watch these videos to be able to determine if they're actually real, because we may not be qualified to be able to determine this stuff, especially on this video. Well, it looks like a real dude just, slithering around on the ground. Now, imagine if you had a really good looking Bigfoot or a different kind of creature slithering around like that in pretty good detail. And again, you're watching it through this YouTube, and it's, the resolution is cut dramatically compared to I made the video on my phone and stuff, and then how you're watching it. So the resolution is in crystal clear, perfect stuff when it's not being streamed and degraded. But you get some of this stuff that looks very, very real, and it's able to trick people, especially older people, especially if they don't understand graphics and resolutions, I guess, and maybe different types of graphics, I guess, growing up with different graphics, looking at the old 80s style special effects compared to everything in between. You can kind of see how things progressed, and you kind of can tell, like, oh yeah, there's something ain't right about this little CGI thing that they got going on. It's in basically every single movie. But you get where things are going. You get things like, monster inside of Walmart, and it looks good. Monster screaming, it looks good. Walmart looks good. This thing looks amazing if it wasn't such a, if it was a creature, a little creature thing that like slithers and it slithers away real quick, that could probably fool some people. The only thing that this doesn't fool is because the audio and the marionette kind of style. Obviously, this is super far-fetched and stuff. Obviously, it would make breaking news if someone caught this on their fisherman boat. But at the same time, it's pretty graphically amazing. And, celebrities and people who have their images online or images out there and videos more than average people can be produced a lot better quality and made to do things, as we see and probably are going to see more and more and more. And then you have, some ridiculous stuff like this, fat people, doing, running from the cops in one of those little toy cars. And you see a lot of this different hunters and stuff. You'll see a lot of different this AI stuff, and it's getting good. They don't have the guns kind of squared away yet, but they are hilarious and stuff. But as we progress towards the Bigfoot stuff, you'll see that it's becoming a nightmare for us. The takeover has already begun, and it's evolving every day. Every day. All right, so let's get the next one up rolling. we'll take a look at what some pretty real ones that actually has tricked quite a few number of people. And I'm kind of letting cat all out of the bag because you should already know, But this is actually one of the most real ones out there. What is it? The theme of someone sleeping with bears on the porch. That's the theme. But then you'll have a different video, but the theme is the same.
Oh, jeez.
Now he's looking at the door.
Get back!
What is the theme? The theme is the same.
Go on!
Go on. Let's replay that again one more time. That one was pretty real. That one actually almost could be legit.
Ah! Hold it! No! Get! Oh, my! Oh, jeez. Holy! Get back! Hey! Move! Go on!
This one right here is actually pretty realistic. Out of all of them, other than the watermark is still there. That one had fooled a lot of people, even though the watermark is there. The comment section is literally a lot of people freaking out and can't believe in it. Same thing with this one, surprisingly. Even though the guy is looking at the door instead of the bear as the bear runs away and stuff. And obviously the last one's a little bit more easier to tell. But that first one, I mean, it's kind of spot on for most part when you watch it until you dive into the details and start looking at it. But you can tell where it's going. You can tell what the themes are, how it's progressing, how it's getting better and stuff. It isn't able to show as of yet, super detailed attacks and stuff. Super detailed attacks, as we, as I'll say. But this is the theme. A bear waking up people on the on the porch, interacting with people on the porch, and then magically the guy gets a gun. The AI brain isn't able to think and process like what a human would do in that moment, and it just makes them sound robotic and dumb. But it's good to watch. It's hilarious. Even gave him a little like poop stain or something in the back of that one. So yeah, you see where it's going and stuff. You see how it's progressing, and you see the theme. It's a recurring theme. These themes and stuff. You put the theme in, and then all of a sudden you make 10 videos of it, and it improves and can improve and does the theme better, changes the background, changes things a little bit. All right, we'll get this one rolling and stuff. And this is a very common theme. I'm sure maybe you guys have seen it or not, but this is very common, and it's going to be more and more and more. As you can see, this is a theme that the AI is going to try to get better and better and better.
Help! Please! Please save me! Oh, girl.
Rusty Bear! Get inside!
Get it! Watch out!
Easy! No!
Hey, get back!
Look at that one.
Whoa,
Woo.
Is she okay? Is she
I
okay?
got the dog. You're safe, sweetheart.
I got the dog. Cats are brave, man. I mean, I think a cat might actually do this in real life. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would have so, right? Do you see stuff, all sorts of just, whatever.
Go away! Scram! Oh my gosh.
describe that cat, dude. Look at this. How real that looks. Look how real that looks.
Here, get it! Here! Oh my God! Are you okay? Come here. Come here, baby. I got you. It's gone. Let's get inside.
Whoa, hey! Are you? Oh my God! Good girl.
This was kind of fun.
I got you, buddy.
Actually.
You saved him, huh? That's a good dog.
Yeah, it was a good dog. But you see what's going on and stuff, and what people are trying to make, and you see how good it is, compared to like even just even a month or two ago, compared to what we're seeing now and stuff, especially a year and stuff ago. And you see when the animals go at it and stuff, they're getting kind of smooth, and then sometimes when they actually lock up, they're a little kind of marionette puppet style. But you kind of see what's going on. The dogs and the cats are saving the people and the kids and all that. So let's take a look as I talk about it and stuff, and you notice the fluid motion of the cats and the animals. I had a lot of fun making these little videos and adding these little animals and stuff. It was enjoyable and stuff. I try to make it enjoyable a little bit because it is kind of ridiculous and stuff that people people fell for. When I watch these videos, I look at the comments when I screen grab them and all that, and you would be surprised. Sometimes they're just like, seems like they're little older people. They seem really nice, little lady. Maybe she don't have her glasses on properly. But I'm very surprised at how many seem to believe that a lot of these videos are pretty real. And come on, guys, these are AI videos. Like, use your thinking caps. Any one of these videos would have made national news. Any one of these videos would have made national news, guys. Come on. All right. So, like, if you don't hear about it. Now, this one was very interesting because if it didn't have the dog there helping the little kid and it just showed it running away, maybe with a person there and no audio, that one would be pretty convincing and stuff. If they record up the details and stuff. But the audio doesn't match the actions of what's going on or how people would actually react in the real situation in reality. And it's like people aren't picking up on that. Like this, the door opens from that side and she comes here. And this baby one, when I found this baby one, I thought it was hilarious. And then when I started doing my arts, the little art thing on it, I thought it was hilarious that I didn't want to show the baby getting hurt or anything, and it doesn't really show anything, but I didn't want YouTube to get upset, so I kind of found the best graphic overlay to show him getting shot. And it works perfectly. And then he's shooting lightning out. He's discharging lightning out. It's so goofy and stuff. And there was literally a comment in there. I hope it's fake. I hope it's a bot comment, but the person was like, thank God the baby's alive. The dog was there. And it's just like, I hope she's trolling. I really do. But I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. If people are glued to their phones that much that they can't even tell, it's like, so maybe you should put the phone down a little bit, But you can see where it's going, and it's going to get more realistic. And eventually, you'll have, especially like that bear and dog video, I think you'll definitely have like a pretty realistic video when the audio matches everything. That's going to be pretty hard to tell if that was actually real or fake. Obviously the more dramatic the action sequence is, you can kind of tell with your thinking caps, like, I don't think that's real, guys. Come on. And that's why I kind of added this stuff. It's about as believable as the turtle running out there, as the cat's running out there, as what the little white cat's running out there to save the cat. I mean, it's about as ridiculous as that in my mind. I just slow this one down because this one was like super, super fast and over with. It was just like, all right. But it's enjoyable. It was fun. You know, I spent a little time working on this and had this ready to go and tucked into other things. And then, but this one looks pretty good if the dog isn't there and the audio matched up really good and the person grabbed the baby a little bit better. That would be pretty realistic. And, you know, until you run it through a 5-second Google search to tell, hey, if this AI or not, because, you know, we have a 5-second Google search and different softwares and websites that you can use, plug in the AI videos or videos that you want to see that are AI or not, that you can tell very fast. You don't need a video forensic expert or whatever to determine stuff that, you know, with our thinking caps and, you know, we should be able to determine how real and realistic and plausible, critical thinking, plausible that this would actually be, you know. And so that's why I wanted to make this. The takeover has begun, whether it's in our community or not. I'm seeing it everywhere, and people are falling for it. So when you add Bigfoot through the mix, and you have not our community, but for average people who are not knowing about Bigfoot, and they see these videos, they're going to be like, "Oh my God." Because you already got people falling for the most ridiculous stuff ever. And it's just, it's ridiculous. I mean, come on. How are we supposed to solve the mystery of Bigfoot if we're falling for the most asshat backwards clown things imaginable with no critical thinking taking us at all, actually, to determine if this was reality or not. You know, it's like my 6-year-old kid when we watched The Bear, that old classic movie, if you guys have ever seen that and stuff. And he kept asking me, is this real? And I had to, explain to him, he knows what movies are and stuff, but like different kind of movie styles and stuff and shot. And these are real animals, real scenes and stuff, but the movie and the story is fake and how you can tell and stuff like that. And obviously, you know why like Superman's not real and stuff, even though it's on a movie and it looks good and it looks real and stuff compared to, seeing animals and stuff. How are we able to tell if it's, a fake depiction of reality versus actual reality that we can see, feel, touch, and understand in the physical realm and all of that? I mean, if a 5-year-old can tell, what's real and what's not, and, I think some of these adults can too, without being an expert or content expert and all of that, right? All right, so let me download some more. Then we're going to show another pretty funny video and all that. Then we'll get the ball rolling. And I think we're going pretty good for time. So depending on how late I want to go and stay up, maybe we'll get to some stuff. Or if I had more people in, maybe we'll, throw the link out there and stuff. We can always do that in some of these other shows when we the algorithm favors a bit more of our comeback and they throw some more people at us and all of that. But I do want to get through these videos and stuff and not kind of get distracted with getting bogged down on other subjects matter or drama going on. There's a lot of, seems like there's always drama going on, but there's drama, there's bickering, there's disagreements, there's different stuff. What is this one? Okay, that is all right. I know you guys have been patient and stuff. We'll show some Bigfoot videos here in the next one and get ready to the other section and stuff. We're going to be about halfway done with videos, I would say. Once we show the next one, we'll be about at the halfway point. I want to say, okay, yeah. These other videos are actually kind of short, and I should go probably pretty fast. I had only planned on being for an hour. I planned it for an hour, but and it's being late and stuff. I'm not sure on the East Coast wise how many people are up and running and stuff. We don't got a whole lot of people in the chat and stuff, and that's okay. We got a couple people watching, appreciate and stuff, and all, of course, and appreciate everyone who watches afterwards. It is just fun to be back and blabbering away to you guys and reading the comments afterwards and enjoying stuff. I've been in a couple chats and stuff like Nikki's shows that she's been having on regularly. You know, I always try to listen to whenever I can. You know, usually I get back late Sunday and usually can tune into that about, 30 minutes after or a little bit after that. So let's do it again. All right. Alrighty, all right. Very smooth. Very nice. So yeah, actually, and like kind of speaking of a drama, Nikki's show, actually, I think she's having a little bit of a throwdown, a little bit, I guess, of between Brent Dill and Randy Harriton about some of the stuff, the last few videos that Randy made about his experience with a group of people going out there and evidence and some hoax and stuff like that, allegations and all this. And watched a couple of those videos. I think Randy did a pretty good job. Pretty good, interesting, artistic take on that also, he laid it out there and stuff, and I think if you guys follow them and stuff, might see their community notes and tabs and all that. And I think Brent responded on his community page of I guess disagreeing it, calling it out, saying the other guy is a hoaxer that Randy's backing up, saying that the other guy is a hoaxer. And so I guess there's a big throwdown and challenge and stuff. I'm not sure if Randy is actually going to be on the show, but from what you guys can see and stuff from the information, it looks like there's been a challenge that's been laid out, and I think Brent's going to probably be on the channel, his side, I guess, and then I guess change the tune and stuff. But so yeah, there's a bit of that. There's other stuff, drama going on. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that with Mr. Wolf King afterwards and stuff. Nothing with me and stuff, but I hear from rumors and all of that the boat is sinking and he's, foaming at the mouth all the time still, which is, not too surprising, I guess, but like, so there's a bunch of drama and I think there was some mentioning of some other stuff in our chat just now, of some other people, players, and drama involved with them and all that. And there's always something going on. But what is interesting and what seems to be going on is what I think, and we're going to have a show on this, is government overwatch and government interference and government involvement and stuff in different groups and stuff, and maybe steering where the mystery is going and stuff. And maybe that is part of the reason why we haven't discovered the actual, mystery behind Bigfoot, because maybe we have a helping hand steering us in the wrong direction. Maybe it also plays into some gatekeepers and, of course, media intelligence and stuff that we know we can trust so honestly and wholeheartedly. So we'll get into that. Those are pretty good, some live discussions and stuff. Probably maybe open up the chat and stuff. Like I said, especially after we get it through all the material, we can always open up the chats to have fun and have some dialogue and discussions and all that. All right.
Whoa! Oh my God, it's a moose! No, get out of here! No, I'm out.
Oh. Oh. Yep. I think that's a big breakdown.
No, please.
Look at that.
Oh my, you gotta be kidding me.
I think Jake Paul wanted another fight. Boxing fight. Party time. Sorry about that, guys. You can just see how ridiculous it is, We'll play it one more time with the audio so you guys can hear the robotic attempt that the AI is trying to imitate and emulate humans and stuff and what they're trying to do. So take a look at that.
Whoa! Oh my God, it's a moose! No, get out of here! No, I'm out.
That's kind of delayed response. I mean, is anyone really believing this? I'd be surprised. I think I thought I seen Bigfoot out there. I'm not sure.
No, please, no!
You can have his hand going through.
You gotta be kidding me!
People thought this one was real. There were some people that thought that one was real. I thought that was comical and stuff. I think I made a little fun, and it's ridiculous, but you can see where they're going, and eventually you can see the theme changing from a moose breaking in to maybe a Sasquatch breaking in and stuff eventually, when it gets better and better and better and better and better, and they're able to just keep going and going and going. Let's put on the next video real quick. As we take a look at the first video of who's coming forward. What is the theme? What's the theme?
Open up! Let me in! The twister's right behind you! Come on,
the
please!
theme.
It's coming! No!
I understand.
Saw something huge up the trail. Hold on. Do you see that? Right there. Oh my God. It's walking like
Now
a
look at
person,
that.
but that's not a person. Look at the size of it. It's going into the trees.
Well-
Dude, it's gone. I think I just saw Bigfoot.
Absolute beauty. All right, man,
That was
here
a
we go.
trusted
Yeah,
source,
gotcha.
right?
Hold on, big fella. Settle, I've got you. Look at the size of those
What
shoulders.
does he sound like?
Rope's going on, just like time.
See where it's going.
Hey.
See where it's going.
And when the little star finally found her way home, she read softly, all the forest animals lit their lanterns so she would.
Look how good it looks, though.
Look at the size. This is the elusive
Like this
Sasquatch.
one,
8
though.
feet of pure mystery. I'm going to see if I can get a closer look. I've got my net ready just in case he decides to bolt. I'm moving real careful, keeping low, but check out those
Who does
feet
he
like dinner
sound like?
plates.
Well, sweetheart, it's the same mix as before.
Oh,
That's it. Take your time. You brought the whole family tonight, didn't you?
yeah, look at that.
Well, it's an honor to meet them. Go on, sweetheart.
Sure it is. I'm sure it is. So we have the themes here that we seen with all the other videos we just watched. And look what's replaced. There's a Sasquatch. All the single videos we just seen, all the same relatively same themes. Bam. You got Sasquatch. Now that's not as good, and obviously you can tell, but you can tell where it's going, and it's getting better and better and better. More and more. Like this one. This one was actually pretty good. But of course, our boy Boise, our our good boy over there at Boise Bigfoot, you can always rely on him to have the most trustworthy, honest to God, truthful Bigfoot evidence ever. He loves to make his own AI videos, and he has such a reputation that, unfortunately, we could pretty much never take him seriously, because he posts his AI videos and fake evidence videos every single day on the Facebook page and anywhere else. And you can see with the old granny videos and stuff, that the young Bigfoots look pretty realistic, but you see the common theme, her feeding the mountain lion on the porch, feeding the Bigfoot. You got a female with the baby right there looking pretty ape-like, but that little baby on the ground looks pretty realistic, you gotta say. If at least you were watching it, especially on the high def, where you can see it on these Facebook reels or YouTube, whatever, shorts, and before it gets downgraded through the stream, it would actually look pretty good. Now you see the movements, and this one looks kind of computer animated, especially when the bear jumps over that very old school kind of computer generated thing going on. And actually, I'm going to show you even better videos than this one right here, or I guess as good, because other than the kind of glitch that happens, and again, the audio not really matching what would actually be going on with the research or someone videotaping that in a real situation. But it getting more realistic. Like that was pretty good, from Bozy. Luckily, with him water stamping it, putting his mark on it, we know how reliable and that we should take that, which is, that's what he does. He puts the AI videos out. He puts the fake video photos out and stuff like that. So it's not really something you can't really be calling him out, saying, I don't even really consider him a hoaxer. He's just, he just puts, that's all he does is put fake videos out. That's what he's known for. That's what he does. It's like, yes, he kind of acts like they're real, but at the same time, it's like they're never well done, and it's like every single day is a new video, AI video and stuff. So it's like I don't really know who he's trying to. He's not really fooling anyone, other than average Joe people, I guess. He's not fooling the community people, researchers wise, but I guess maybe average Joe people who've never seen a Bigfoot and stuff. I guess when they look at those videos, they could be tricked. So. But in our circles, no one really. You hear the name. It's like you don't take it seriously enough. As in, maybe like a Mike Patterson or Rick Dyer or might just slip my mind. Some of these other guys who a little bit more prolific and nefarious in their attempts, like Long Island Bigfoot, taking other people's research and materials and then claiming it was his, more nefarious in that kind of a aspect, I would say. Fake rock throwing and faking of cast and tracks and audio, and Randy Harrington has a video of the Oklahoma guy throwing grass balls. I just forgot his name too. He does the Oklahoma Bigfoot Symposium. That whatever that head honcho guy, Randy has some witnesses on the telephone and telling their story of him hoaxing grass balls being thrown at them, So there's a bunch of ridiculousness from these people that supposedly have all these research and blah 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 blah. Hell, I think the guy who runs that symposium has a page on hoaxers, actually. Didn't he have a whole page on like hoaxers and all that? Known hoaxers and, people do all that, run their mouth basically, because he puts some random people on there. All right, let's keep taking a look. Let's take a look at some more stuff before we get bogged down and jump around to too much other topics. Eventually, get it. The bear fights for honor. Moose fights for party time. You can see where this is going, and people thought this one was real.
Q4, I need units in the alley now.
This one, Blood Stomper.
Somebody help! Give me your hands! Hands on the wheel now. Do not reach.
Excuse me! You just yanked my door open. The truck is in park. Don't touch me.
A dented truck, a reflective vest, and a woman behind the wheel. That's all Officer Keller sees when he rips open the door. What he doesn't notice: a federal plaque on the dash, a credential in plain sight, and a ticking deadline to inspect a fracture-critical bridge. Elaine Carter isn't just another driver. She's a senior structural engineer with federal clearance and authority that outranks his.
As we take a look at what the themes are again, as we're taking a look at the different varieties of AI. That wasn't supposed to stop there, actually. Oh man. That cat one was actually pretty realistic. He jumps off the TV and jumps and lands on the chandelier fan, and that one actually looked pretty realistic until you look at the details. And so you'll actually see a lot of these different animal fight videos now with a crowd of people there. This one people thought was actually real, and then come on, realistically, like someone put a GoPro on one of these goats and the goat's like flying halfway down the mountain. Come on. A lot of people thought it was real. And this dog man looks pretty realistic, scary looking, other than when it's fighting, it's flimsy. Now, this is going to be a new interesting problem, I think, for the country and all stuff, is fake AI body camera footage. And what you notice is the woman changes race and she changes skin color, and then she actually changes age. She like gains 20 years past these older women. And it's a different vehicle. See, now she's super, super old, and it's a different vehicle, but it's all the same person. It even says AI body cam footage. And I did have another video that I don't know where it went, but it had someone pulled over and stuff, and the cop was like, do you realize you got a pig on top of the car and stuff? Or he's like, what? But oh, there it went. Oh, maybe at my end it cut out. Oh, I don't know. I guess the video was working then. But those AI videos and stuff are actually going to be pretty bad for public and accountability and safety and all that. You having fake videos that get public emotional drama riled up from fake shootings, and then also the opposite and stuff. It's just, there's a lot of bad AI stuff, and you can have AI politicians doing and saying stuff, and that could be pretty bad, and an issue for people who are not in the know, don't have other resources and people and avenues to determine if that's what the actual president said, or if that's what the computer AI generator said. And so you'll see more, of course, AI fake body camera footages and stuff, because there's a lot of videos for the AI to be able to replicate and emulate So the more videos you have on a particular subject, animals are a big thing. We have a lot of videos and documentations and wildlife documentaries on animals, and Steve Irwin, that's why you kind of get that Australian kind of a wildlife expert guy in some of these, that Bigfoot video and stuff, because that's a theme. You can put it into the AI and it's like, okay, I recognize what you want me to do with this type of character. You want the Australian animal researcher. So there's always these themes and stuff that will get added in that you can kind of tell and stuff. You can notice that the GPS at the bottom of the car is not a straight road like what is in the video, Now this one you can see getting a little bit better, but the bear paws and stuff, very kind of puppet-like. But if you have an AI program and you just feed it 1,000 videos of bears attacking, moose, elk, and deer and stuff, and how the moose and stuff reacts and stuff, it could possibly generate a very more realistic video. But most of these people are not dedicating 1,000 videos of how a bear would actually attack something and fight to train it to make it realistic. They're just trying to put it in to Sora or whatever kind of different AI that they make. But you will hear about, you can train an AI, you can train an AI generator, an engine, or whatever to do whatever kind of work you want to do, help you with, data sheet data and stuff, or with video creation or image creation with pictures and stuff. The more pictures you feed into it, the more it's able to gather and replicate and design on its own based off of those stuff. So that's kind of why, luckily, Bigfoot isn't a big, it's not an easy target for AI to replicate or emulate, because there isn't a lot of videos on it. There's not a lot of subject matter through the videos other than, Bigfoot standing there. There's no big videos on how a Bigfoot's supposed to fight something and interact with these other animals and stuff. So when you see something, or a spider crawl, that spider crawl motion, as of yet, it's not something I think the AI is going to be able to replicate easily, because there isn't typically any other animal or really humans on video that are spider crawling, replicating that kind of movement. But eventually, maybe that will change. I would expect. So here's a funny one.
Oh my God, it's gone! Whoa!
You okay down there?
Yeah. I think so.
Yes, even that one is AI. And I will explain why. And you'll see actually how that's going to be coming. I've already seen it. There's actually quite a different videos that I could have, tried to produce in this stuff. But it's not a real person, YouTube, so don't get upset. Are you going to get upset at video games that show and depict the exact same stuff? No, I don't think so. Especially when you have some your top little influencers, playing little stupid games like that. It's the same thing. It's just all fake computer generated images, exactly like a video game. So when we get over to that guy falling off the building, I'll explain how it's an AI generated video, and it's actually pretty simple. Other than, so we have the theme of people falling off stuff, and the fat guy falling off, and being okay. But what we see here is the guy falling down. That looks pretty real. But the camera guy. The guy falls down, bam, in the middle of this kind of courtyard thing, and then the camera guy pans over and he jumps across. He jumps across the same gap. It's like a 50-foot gap turns into like a 5-foot gap as soon as he jumps across. that's how you can tell it's simply AI. And people are falling for it because it looks pretty real. You see a guy falling like that really fast. There's some videos of people getting hit by trains that look pretty good, that it's actually AI. See, 50-foot gap longwise, and then the guy's like, jumps across it. So, but we're going to see these keeping themes of like workplace accidents and stuff, which actually, it's going to be pretty crazy. And the reason why AI is pretty good at that is because there's actually a lot of workplace accidents that are actually on film and stuff. But this is fake, totally fake. That's not real, all like that. So YouTube, please don't have a stroke, don't have a heart attack over stuff that only you are getting upset about, frankly. And I think people are getting kind of sick and tired of it. Because, hey, there's two classes of people, basically the important people on YouTube and everyone else. And if you ain't that important people, they try to hold you to a higher standard and stricter standard, and they're not as lenient, clearly. Even with their own policies and stuff, they are very strict and stuff. And frankly, when they try to get a third party, a different content creator to like take you to court over the stuff, because YouTube's trying to make two different YouTube channels head to head and go through court, outside court, to deal with a little issue that YouTube brought up that really isn't even an issue. Yeah, that's a little nefarious. That's a little harassment. That might be a little different, especially when they're treating smaller channels differently than bigger channels. That might be a little drastically unconstitutional, actually. Having two different classes of people. Either you got to treat everyone the same way, or you got to treat everyone the shitty way and be shit to everyone. You can't play, do the pick favorites and actually go after and harass and actually, stop people from using the creator content and stuff like that. Especially when they're dealing with legal matters and stuff like that, and trying to push, frivolous lawsuits and copyright infringements, kind of copyright claims through court and stuff. That gets very kind of touchy, throwing accusations out like that and kind of being a middleman, edging other people to do your little dirty work because you won't go through court yourself. That is sketchy, to say the least. Because I don't want to keep dealing with it when I know there's other channels, not bigger channels, not even on Bigfoot stuff, but bigger channels and all sorts of different subjects that are not dealing with that. So, gotta say that. Gotta say my piece about that. Yeah. So, all right. I think we got. I think maybe 2 more videos and that's it. That's it, guys. That's it. That's it for the AI takeover as we laugh at the ridiculousness. But I'm reminded that there's some people, pretty smart people out there that, as we'll jump into it. As we jump into it, I'll keep reiterating what they keep saying. I lied. I guess that was the last video besides this video. So we only have 1 video left, guys. It actually did pretty good for time. I thought this might take a little longer than what it has been. One might take a little longer to load. It's a little longer than the other videos we just seen. So load up real quick. It's processing and all that. You can only have so many videos saved to restream. It's a little bit less than StreamYard, but I am very satisfied with Restream, and their price is cheaper than StreamYard, and if you're a customer, we're a paying customer of StreamYard and stuff. When you switch over, you could qualify for a 20% lifetime discount. So, I mean, there's that. Definitely going to make it cheaper than StreamYard. And, I used to love StreamYard and stuff when they were the small guy, but they became corporatized and just, unrealistically to keep making, to pay for something that it's like, they keep increasing their price. It's like, man, that's a lot. Restream is actually more reasonable priced. So, all right, let's take a look at this videos. I think you guys might recognize a good trustworthy source.
No way. That's Bigfoot. Oh my God, he's doing his business. Okay. Yep.
I mean, sorry. Look how real this stuff gets, guys. Most trusted source of footage. Notice this one. Notice that one. I guess that game cameras down. That's Cryptid University. That's another big old trusted source in the Bigfoot
left my house
community.
And I'm staying at my cousin.
So
I'm staying at my cousin's place right now. Been here 3 weeks.
Run.
My God, it's just standing there. It's looking right at me.
This one actually.
Whoa, there it goes.
Until it, runs away like that. Bozy. Yeah, I mean, what can you say? One of my little artsy-fartsy things didn't load up properly. But it's okay. You can see where Bozy is going, where Cryptid University is going. They're trying to... I mean, he's leading the way. I mean, if you want the latest and greatest AI stuff for Bigfoot, I mean, Bozy is pretty, he's pretty up there. He's cranking away. He's making that algorithm, that AI, whatever he uses, he's making it learn how to do Bigfoot videos. And this one took a photograph. I think, isn't there a photograph on, or maybe there's a similar photograph, and then you can just make the photograph come alive through the AI computer generation. And I believe that's what he did here. I could be mistaken. I believe there's a photograph very similar to that I believe I've seen him post, and I believe he's using. And so Cryptid University again, and he tells a lot of stories, and he used the AI to help tell the story, but also kind of hoax people also. Looked pretty good standing there, man, till he kind of ran away. And my graphics are a little fun, like you're trying to just play a little goofball. Like on this one, it's supposed to say hi, 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 hi. Like the girl saying hi, 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 and then he's running away. It's sad, because it's kind of ridiculous. I understand where Bozy's going with it. You can see that it's not quite there, but you can see that it's getting there. It's going to be there. And, he's leading the way. Him and Cryptid University a little bit, but more so Bozy. Especially when it's standing there like that. When it's standing there like that, it looks pretty good. It looks decently good. And you can tell, okay. But it's always sad when a Bigfoot runs away from you, And so that's where we're at and stuff, And there, by the time I made this video, I actually made these videos up a couple weeks back, and then I made this particular Bigfoot video from Bozy and stuff is some of the newer stuff he has, because he just kept cranking out and I kept seeing more videos. I don't know, there was like 20 more that I got and captured and stuff. Was going to make up from Bigfoot stuff and then other AI stuff, but it's just like, man, all these videos right here with the themes basically showed what I wanted. And but he's cranking out more videos and stuff. Cranking out more videos. I had this last little video ready to go on Wednesday. I was going to try to go Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, and then I was like, screw it. I'll just go Saturday. It'd be a nice time to spend on Saturday night, stay up a little late. And so he's cranking out new videos every single day of this. And hey, I'm giving him a little representation. People might not like it. I kind of think it's kind of funny, hilarious, because it's so obvious, and it's kind of funny where people are in the community, and how people are taking advantage, or other people are trying to make money. I really don't think Bozy tries to make money other than I think he might have some merchandise that he sells, his shirts, kind of thing. But, he doesn't go out there actively saying, I research, I do this, I see this and stuff, but it's just, and there's other people. There's people over in like Malaysia and Vietnam selling shirts on, people's Facebook groups for Bigfoot. They're just trying to sell all these shirts and new designs. And I mean, some people might say they're trying to scam the system, take advantage of the system. Others say, hey, they're being an entrepreneur over there. It's really just getting to be a money game in the Bigfoot community, to be honest. Maybe it always has been. Money matters more than integrity. Money matters more than the actual truth and stuff. And when we talk about gatekeepers, we talk about information that gets gatekeep evidence and stuff. We dealt with that this year, actually. My experience with the newest sighting of the Monroe monster here in Bigfoot. There was a Bigfoot sighting in Monroe, Michigan, in I believe it was April, May. One of those three. I think it was May, April or May 18th or something like that. I went out there like 3 or 4 days after that and stuff, found evidence, and then some other people went out after that, like a couple of days after me, and filmed on site, and Small Town Monsters went out there a couple weeks after that and had the actual witnesses out there and stuff. But Matt Moneymaker did a big old post and tried to get researchers to go down there and get evidence and show it, and that's what I did, right? But when I tried to show the evidence to Matt Moneymaker or anyone, I was gatekept. I was stopped. I wasn't taken seriously, blindly ignored, actually. I believe to be the only person to actually found a fucking foot track at the location, and no one gives a fuck. So it's not about actual finding evidence. It's about having, some person you talk on the fucking phone that you can get on there, and then all of a sudden, well, there's more. Even though they didn't find shit. Maybe having some transgender dressed up drag queen, forensic video expert, go on down there, stomping around, finding nothing, making little videos. All of a sudden that becomes more important than finding an actual footprint track. So when you watch, Small Town Monsters, not to throw shade on them, but like when you're interviewing a mentally ill transgender ex-CIA government dude, like a little wacky, not a good trustworthy source of information. So I'm a little confused, and not to throw shade on them, because all they did is throw a documentary, and they didn't know any better. But trying to talk to Matt and stuff, it's like, hey, here's a footprint. I thought that's what was important and stuff. Nope. Nope. Doesn't matter. So the question really becomes, well, what the fuck matters? Gatekeeping the information, controlling the narrative, the story, putting out that story first, putting out a documentary first, putting out, getting your own groups of guys on the ground so you can kind of confirm it through your own, channels and sources, I mean, we've seen Matt Moneymaker make the claim that they're some of the best tracks he's ever reported to him. And Leon went out there from Okinawan Bigfoot and determined it was moose tracks in there. Matt didn't even send anyone up there, and I don't think Matt's ever taken back what he said about those tracks. And he made a post about it. I went down there trying to basically make post after post of throwing these in his face, like, hey, contact me, talk to me. And, you get blindly ignored. So it's like, what the fuck is that? And then you realize, well, there's a lot of gatekeeping out there by, head honcho guys that, everyone kind of thinks that are legit, send all your evidence to them. And then you never see it again. I know a couple people that, I know a person who sent hair evidence, to Jeff Meldrum, and Jeff Meldrum never contacted him again, blew him completely off. We did an interview with him, and he is a little bit bitter about it because he feels that it was stolen from him, and he has the evidence was taken from him, and now he has no credit to him because it's his word against, well, it was his word against now the late Jeff Meldrum and stuff. And this is not something new. We've talked about it on this channel. Other people have brought up some of those gatekeeping aspects or gatekeeping of evidence, especially, in my experience of that year, it's like, fuck, what do I got to do? Throw a fucking footprint cast at you guys to make it for you guys to look at it and take it seriously? I mean, there was a sighting of a Bigfoot with 2 witnesses that you find extremely credible. And then when a independent researcher goes out there and finds tracks, that doesn't matter. And when you send your own team out there, and even when small town monitor, I don't know if there's no evidence found. No one's bragging about it. No one's showing about it. Talk to people who was there, the part of that. They didn't find anything. They didn't even go off trail. And it's like, okay. I guess we shouldn't take some of those people seriously and stuff. So, and there's a lot of law enforcement involved in this. A lot of law enforcement involved with phone calls, and law enforcement already has their protocols with dealing with Bigfoot if they're a county, especially that has a history with Bigfoot. But they don't tell the public. They don't tell the public of any dangers that they might face. And you find that there's a lot of ex-law enforcement in our community, and they're partial government, and they do a lot of weird kind of things, a little gatekeeping actually with information and stuff. We're trying to be a part of groups to get on the inside, at least in my case. And I think other people mentioned this. Actually, I seen Mark Zasky just did a random live. They got caught. He was talking about how there was government people that went to Florida and stuff. And I can confirm that, yes, because we brought one from Michigan because he was bragging about it, talking about he's ex-CIA, ex-law enforcement, retired. And he was part of the expedition and stuff, and he was part of our group and stuff. But then he started getting weird, and seemed like it was more detrimental than a benefit. And this individual, of course, went transgendered and psycho and stole equipment, not only from me, but from Chad. From Chad Datema, actually. He will testify that that guy stole stuff from him and is now, back on the scene. And like I said, I mentioned him in his documentaries. He's back on the scene because, that Monroe incident. And, I'm not going to mention his, what he calls himself, but, he's a government goon fuck. that you're supposed to take seriously. But if you don't know, my story or Chad's story and stuff, you would think, he's kind of a normal kind of guy. Maybe he's a little weird because he has some mental fucking issues like going transgender and weeding the fuck out and all sorts of shit. But if you didn't know the stories behind it, you would think like, oh, he's ex-law enforcement. Oh, he's government. Oh, he's an expert in video forensic analysis and stuff. I brought this up earlier is because there was other people who said, you do need to be an expert in that to be able to determine. And it's like, but you're referencing that guy to be the expert, that basket case, that thief, that government stooge. And that guy even said that there was another government guy who showed up at 168, took a little trip in Russia, I guess, when he was younger, working for, the government. That's what our little Michigan CIA guy told me and Chad and everyone else. I guess it wasn't that much of a secret. Not going to name any names because it might actually surprise a lot of people. Maybe I will one of these days. Why not? I mean, Carrie's dead and stuff anyways. So there's two at least. Plus the law enforcement officer who already came to the camp and knew what we were doing and slipped up. And you would be surprised because, when you're throwing an expedition like that and you're really determined about finding stuff like Carrie was, and you're at the cutting edge and you actually bring all the researchers and I to get it done. Yeah, the government might be a little scared. They might want to have some boots on the ground there with everyone to see what the fuck actually is going on and stuff. So yeah, I can confirm that with Mark that, yeah, they were definitely, there was two. One that acknowledges from my end and one that he claims another person from the camp told him his background. Except for that guy wasn't telling anyone else. He wasn't bragging about it. He wasn't retired. Well, at least he didn't claim it and stuff. This other guy, I'm retired. Oh, yeah, I'm retired. Except for you never retired, right? So there is that issue that we're going to explore and talk about because I think it's actually a massive it's a massive hindrance that's actually plaguing our community and stuff because the government doesn't want us to find out the mystery, doesn't want things to come out. They don't want to be accountable for their negligence on, let's say, attacks or disappearances or even simply lying to the public that, yeah, there is this 8-foot tall, 15-foot tall beast out there that, either we don't control or we do control and we are managing them and we are, just like any other animal, either way, it doesn't look good for them. And then, you get into the even more crazy woo conspiracy aspects and stuff. And it just goes downhill from there. It's never good for us. So no matter what it is, there's definitely government interference, involvement, media involvement, interference. You try to go on a news, go live on a news website or actually in the newsroom, you'll be made fun of. It's a laugh. It's ha ha ha. Oh, here we go. There is a lot of agents, I would say, in the Bigfoot community. You might be surprised, and usually they have backgrounds in law enforcement, and they're not. They want to brag about this, so you take it seriously, incredible. It's like, well, they're because they have a background in like law enforcement, more or military. That makes it more credible. You can trust them. You trust the ex-CIA guy. You trust him. I'll tell you from my experience, I got my stuff stolen when I fucking trusted one. So did Chad. So I don't know, man. I would say my relationship hasn't been that good. I've been fucking fucked over. And it's like, man, but I understand now. I have witnesses that told me, that this guy was doing stuff here or sexually harassing people here and doing this. And it's like, That's why I just don't have all these people and stuff. It's like, what the fuck's going on? Especially some professional, right? When your background is so professional and you don't act professional, what's going on? Why is that? And maybe you have some mental issues because the dude went transgender, drag queen, and fucking, I think, took hormones and all that, but now he's kind of like, you can't be a transgender drag queen, Bigfoot researcher and really be taken seriously. I mean, there are some smart people, and we've talked with Bree, who is a transgender and a very smart individual, extremely smart individual, well knowledge in her the background, but they don't display mental issues, stealing stuff, weird vibes that like this guy has produced. And when you fucking look at him and stuff, there's some merit and stuff, some brain behind that. This guy is a little out there, weird and stuff. So I'm not trying to, bash on, transgenders or things like that. To each their own, right? You don't judge a book by its cover. It's going to do that. But, you take a look at what's going on. And a lot of people who don't look freaky at all have a lot of weird, fucked up shit going on that I don't want any part of. Get the fuck away from me. That's what I say most of the time. Get the fuck away from me. I don't want to be next to you guys. I don't want to be next to you. But you'd be surprised how individuals, like look a little rough on the outside or look a little weird or not your cup of tea, that actually on the inside, vibrant people, vibrant souls that you can talk to and trust and stuff. But so you never judge a book by its cover. But at the same time, you have some discernment and stuff when you look at people and you interact with people and you listen to people and you the more interactions you have, you kind of like, oh, something ain't right. And, like me, I'm pretty good at, I like to say, I think I'm pretty good at discerning people, and never had a good feeling. It was proven right. But, so yeah, you always be on the lookout at that for, in the big community. I think there's just a lot of it with a good smiling face, happy, good smiling face, really good actors, because you got to remember, this isn't something that they're doing for their enjoyment and hobby and actual fruition. This is more like a job. This is another mission. This is a work assignment. This isn't, yeah, I'm sure they make friends, but at the same time, when an undercover cop makes friends with the guys and they finally bust them and stuff, it's like, man, I really liked you. But it's like, I liked you too, man. But you're a bad guy. I mean, you're just an assignment. I mean, this is just work, guys. I mean, they don't mean shit to them, right? Other than the mission, right? And to say that it doesn't exist is foolish. To say there's no government involvement in the community is foolish. There's no surveillance, foolish. There's no inside people into groups and YouTube channels themselves. Send me emails. Send me your stories. Send me where did this happen? Where did this happen, guys? Hey, let me make a map. Where did this happen? Oh, I guess that's free government free information and data and locations that the government can all sweep up and gather for themselves that they might not already have. But it's a nice free open source way to collect data and stories and witnesses. And we know this dude over here in Michigan at this address, he's seen Bigfoot, wondered where he goes. Put a little detail on it, maybe put a little drone on him, see where they go. It's to say that there's nothing going on. Well, that's just simply unreasonable, I mean, and if it was that case, then the government wasn't, I guess, are not doing their job or not good at doing their job. And guess we're not the most powerful nation in the world, or are we? If it's real and the government's hiding it, there must be a pretty damn good fucking reason for it. But they like to hide other things too, like island hoppers and stuff. But that's a different discussion for a different time and maybe in a different channel. YouTube might take me down for talking about that, but then maybe they don't mind it, depending on who I actually talk about. Maybe the little liberal-minded side won't mind talking about some of the stuff, but they don't like talking about conspiracies and all that anyways. So we're going to have some other live shows talking about that. Maybe we'll have some discussions. We can open up a live stream if people want to jump in, give their intake or give examples or, not try to throw names out there, but there has been accusations of other people and testimonies of fucking gatekeeping or threats of, if you don't play by the book or, play nice or network or whatever, people are going to conspire with other people to hold you down and keep you down on that ladder to where, you're not taken seriously or, you'll never make it on TV because all of the producers will know how much of a shitbag you are or how much of, an extremist you are or whatever the fucking bullshit it is to keep you from, going, working with other people, going on TV, keeping your evidence research in a little box that's able to be folded and controlled and put on the shelf, whereas the faces of TV, the 20 seasons of this, the people are always sought off and relied upon. They play ball. They cooperate. They jump through the hoops. They say, yes, sir. How high should I jump there, sir? And so they get more cookies, more opportunities, more cookies from the media, from government, from whatever. But, then you throw a little independent research with hey, found an actual Bigfoot footprint that's a couple days old, very fresh. Anyone want to take a look at it? No. I can't even fucking throw it at the fucking people hard enough for them even to look at it, take it seriously, get a response. Takes 5 seconds to fucking look at a message and look at it and say, oh, I don't know, maybe. Not even that. So is it about evidence? Or is it about controlling the narrative, controlling the evidence, controlling the stories, controlling who sees eyewitnesses first, putting out whatever documentary or propaganda out first, controlling that story, that narrative, being that qualified expert. I was on scene first. We did this. We found this. While totally ignoring and shoving and blatantly shoving other researchers, independent evidence that would help. That would fucking help what other people are doing. They shove it underneath the fucking rug. I got evidence to help collaborate that the Monroe sighting was legitimate. It literally helps at what Moneymaker's doing, what everyone else was doing and stuff. It help you guys legitimize it more. I don't give a fuck to even care about that. I don't know. I must be that blacklisted or blackballed and stuff because I don't play nice. I call people out. I'm not going to take people's shit. I don't do that. Apparently, that's tradition around here in the community, right? Play ball. You take that money. You be quiet. You steal other people's evidence. You steal other people's fucking equipment and shit. That's a common thing around here. Yeah, it's a little weird. It's disrupting. It's very disrupting to actual research and stuff, and being blackballed and stuff. That doesn't feel good. It's like, what the fuck, man? It's like what the fuck? What the fuck are we doing? And who are you supposed to send it to? Oh, the bigwig experts who won't even take the time to look at that. Oh, they will determine what's legitimate and what's not. Why? Because they've been on TV more than other people? Because they have a better network of friends that they can call up and say, hey, I've been nice to you, scratch my back, right? I scratched yours. Get me on this, do this. Fuck, man. Fuck, man. That's a little disheartening, you know? And you kind of look and it's like, well, that's kind of normal in the community. Most people are in it for themselves. They want to be the one. You know, you have groups of people, then you have some jackass in there tries to hoax people or steal stuff or, you know, does something that disrupts it, whether it's government involvement or not, you know. There's always some jackass in there that's, you know, this makes it disheartening to, you know, do this stuff. And it's like, man, there's so many shit working against you. It's like, man, that's why a good break ain't too bad every once in a while, you know. Once you realize how silly this clown world really is and how silly this community is, honestly, with this shit we're supposed to, the people we hold up on the pedestal and taking their judgment and their critical thinking skills more seriously than our own because they're experts. Because what? They sat in a fucking class and listened to some old fart fucking talk about them, and then they took the right fucking notes and answered the right questions because they remembered it. You cannot read the same books that they did. You can't be qualified just because you read the same books. Just because you study the same material. No. You're never going to be taken seriously. You don't have a title. You don't have a little paper with magic writing on it that says expertise. That's why when, you know, researcher who's an ex-cop, you know, he's above you. He has some magical training as some law enforcement officer that puts him in a league above everyone else in tracking and determining if something's real or not. Determining if eyewitnesses are telling you the truth or not. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Have you seen some of the cop videos lately? They're not the brightest crayons in the box, people. No, I'm not afraid to say it. They're not. You can actually look up police departments refusing to hire smart people. Just Google it. Take you 5 seconds. I'm sure you'll find a bunch of fucking articles. So yeah, you know, I have some trouble, you know, with titles and, you know, you're not an expert. You're a citizen, right? We need a scientist. We need a military. We need the police. We need authority. We need government. Because citizens never be taken seriously unless it's so open in your face, slap in the face that you can never deny it. Then you know, well, you got lucky as a citizen. You didn't put, you know, it's never like you put hard work and stuff. You're the underclass. You're a citizen, you know. You're not taken seriously by the military. You're not taken seriously by the government. And you know, you don't have the expertise of law enforcement and this and that. Wonder why. So yeah, you know, so that's why everyone gets all hyped up and like, oh my God, you know, there's someone with some background that's gonna, like, you know, be the one to find it or do this. And it's like they never do anything, or they have a story channel, or you know, they try to gather all the information of eyewitnesses and locations ever, and then, you know, stick it to people they don't like. You know, give that, you know, hey, it just means that we're on point, we're close, you know, we have to be monitored because, you know, we're too close to the information, and maybe whatever that information is, I don't think it's good, obviously. I mean, national security purposes are probably never good, right? So, or what are we at? We're about 2 hours long. We got 8 minutes left, 7 minutes left. We are going to fill this 7 minutes left. So that's kind of a preview, a little preview of some of the live streams we'll talk about, discuss, and I'm not sure if anyone wants to come on with testimonies of their own to talk about that kind of stuff, but people are welcome to give their opinion, like Texas Jack does, giving his opinion, saying Politis is a perfect example of government interference, or at least positions to monitor, to gather information, or to spread false information to stuff too. Whereas people have pointed out that some of the stuff that Politis has put out isn't as factual as the reality of the situation, or newspapers or other researchers, or search and rescue and stuff. And then there's other people who would say that some of that information that's in the newspapers and stuff is covered up because, well, unless it was forced to. I mean, government's never going to allow a Bigfoot story of a man being shredded and ripped the fuck apart to be national news unless they absolutely can't control it, right? Because that would change the whole perspective of Americans are safe in America. When you have a big 8, 10, 15 foot tall monster out there that can eat your kids. Yeah, that's going to make a lot of people want to go out and do things. Cause panic. And when cattle panic, they stampede and herd and cause a ruckus. And island hoppers in charge don't want that. They like people being controlled, obviously. So Obviously, we see that. It's so funny, and that's why it's hilarious. So we'll just leave it at that. Very disgusted with what is on the news, what is going on in the world today. It's a clown world. I believe it is exactly what's being told from the good old dusty book that talked about this thousands of years ago. So it's very interesting that we see some of this clown world activity take place with no explanation. There's never an explanation sometimes because there's never supposed to be. You just gotta laugh and think how retarded and stupid it is. And keep on going. So yes, we're gonna get into that. We got audio stuff to go through. I guess I should have talked a little bit, but the Bigfoot conference that we have, our camp out, the encounters that we had there, I was on Abnormal Investigations show for an interview. We could talk a little bit more wild, darker side of Bigfoot and maybe the spiritual side and where that could lead and stuff, but I also talked about the newest research encounters that we had from that event, so you guys can listen to that if you don't want to wait till maybe the next show or one of these next shows. We'll talk about that and have a little bit of audio to go through to help show you guys. Unfortunately, a lot of the audio that I was walking around with an audio recorder and we were hearing wood knocks and stuff going on, so some of the stuff it was caught, but there's crumpling of leaves everywhere and stuff. But we had both daytime activity with two very novice entry level Bigfoot. They're not even Bigfoot researchers. It's just people who are interested, and blew them away. And they even some orbs or some lights out there and stuff that we couldn't really explain and stuff because it was too cold for lightning bugs and mosquitoes and stuff, which was nice because we didn't have to spray and get our faces eaten raw. But so yeah, I will talk a little bit more about that on some of these extra shows, and then try to show a little bit of audio and all the other shows that we have lined up, like the government, and we might have a couple different shows on government involvement, different aspects. Might be talking about the gatekeeping, talking about some of the stuff we talked about now, my own personal experiences and stuff. Maybe we could find other people's personal experiences and But get into like maybe the management and some of the like Teddy Roosevelt theories on them managing Bigfoot and stuff like that, government involvement, things like that. So there might be maybe a couple episode parts on that, but the first part's going to be what we talked about today a little bit. Trying to find my notes right here. Trying to find my notes. And no, so these aren't going to be scheduled in order and stuff, but we have, other than, so yeah, we have about 62 shows planned, subjects. 62 different subjects planned to talk about that we're going to be doing a weekly show on. And then it might be 2-parters. There might be some 3-parters, depending on, we might jump and go back to some of these different subjects and stuff. And so we'll have 62 different subjects that we will talk about now. And, but the government one and the gatekeeping doesn't even have to have government interference, but there are people, whether they're just jackasses and they're doing it just because they're jackasses, there is gatekeeping going on. And when I even had that little fiasco with Steven Struford and stuff, he made the remark that, basically if you don't play nice and all this, you can be held down. And there's been other people that get told the same thing by other people and stuff. I think Steven was being a jackass and not really, informant and stuff, but at the same time, having, me having different disagreements politically or spiritually or on a daily life aspect, that shouldn't, make you say, well, fuck that guy. He's never going to get on TV or this or that and stuff because I don't like him because of the shit that don't actually fucking matter, like shit that don't actually fucking matter, and that, when I did point out Steve Struford does, he does gatekeep and he does throw shade and shit and talk shit on everyone. And he, even though there's a smart group out there with smart individuals, the way they act and stuff, an educated mind without an educated heart is a person with no education at all. And Steven has an educated mind, but his heart isn't that educated enough to have compassion for people to come into his group and take and listen to them and not make fun of them and call them and piss them off and stuff. So he's educated of the mind and stuff of the heart too. And you see it in his group. If you're not banned, you see him calling people out, making fun of fucking people, acting like he's smarter than them, acting like these people are fucking stupid and not worth his fucking time, a waste of fucking space, like some real fucking like. It's like shut the fuck up, you fat ass fuck, dude. You can't. You're not going anywhere, doing anything but running your fucking mouth. Like it's that kind of pathetic ass shit that it's like, fuck, that's not needed here either. You're smart, but you act like this. Who gives a fuck what you present or what you got? Because you drive more people away than you're being a benefit to. And all that, no matter how many fucking Pine Martin stupid weasels you find or whatever the fuck. And we called it when I had my little fucking fiasco with him. I called it, his little cat piss smell ass bookstore fucking burnt to the ground and shit because he's too fucking lazy to take care of it and clean it and fucking shit. I don't know. Karma's a bitch, I guess. So, we'll talk about some of that stuff. And I do think that karma is a bitch and karma will come after all of the negative people in the community trying to get money or greedy bastards trying to manipulate and lie to people, lie to your fucking face as they smile. Oh, I'm your friend, Bob. But they fucking lie to you every time they tell you a Bigfoot story. And I mean, on a spiritual level, that's not good. It's not good for you. That's not your friend, you know. And with these government guys and stuff, it's all going to come out. It's all, you can't do piece of shit acts to people and negative stuff and be a piece of shit person and get away with it for too long. Maybe you'll get away with it in this lifetime, but in the next lifetime, in the next life, you don't. So I guess I enjoy it while it lasts, right? So we deal with all this different kind of reasons why people gatekeep or reasons why people act a certain way. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily government and stuff like that. So that's kind of was an example saying that, not everyone is a government or this or that because they act a certain way or don't act a certain way. But to zero, well, that's just dumb. That's just foolish. Give me a second. All right, guys, I'm going to read the last little comments, and then I am going to be getting off because it is getting late for me. I got to get up early, ready to go, daddy mode, cook breakfast, ready to go. Going crazy for a little ninja guy I got. Watching some good movies. Like I said, we just watched The Bear. That's an old, good, classic, good movie, and I'm going to jump off before I start ranting away too much, but, having to explain. How many of you guys have watched The Bear? How many of you guys remember that? Right off the fucking bat, it's pretty fucking sad. It's like, man, having to explain a death and all this, it's like, man, that's kind of sad start. I didn't remember that as a kid. I guess that's the reason why you don't remember this at the beginning, but and again, there's a scene where the little cub bear, loses his mom and goes finds this male bear and they kind of, stick together a little bit. The fucking dad bear fucking goes and finds a woman and stuff and like goes spends the night with her and shit. And the little bear's watching. This is like, it's a hilarious little thing that they add into the movie for grown-ups to catch and stuff. Obviously, a kid's not going to catch, but it's kind of one of those things like they didn't have to add it, but they added it. And, it's like the alpha male bear, and I made the joke like, because my son was like, that's his dad. Yeah, right. That's his dad. I'm thinking it probably is his dad. That big old male's on the mountain. He's the alpha. He's probably is the dad of that little bear. Probably. But it was funny. It was funny seeing the old movie and how they shot it and stuff, and in zero CGI and stuff with real bears and animals. And it's like, how long did it take to set up those scenes and get the perfect shot? Because they're not actors. I mean, the big bear and stuff was an actor, but like, there's only so much you can really do, right? But some of the stuff and scenes and stuff is really pretty cool. Really, really cool. I just want to throw that out there because I love old movies like that. We actually got another movie, the Swiss Robertson Wilderness. I guess that's an older. I don't know. It looks old. I don't know. I've never seen it. Could be crappy, but it looks pretty old. He liked the old Swiss Robertson family from the 1950s. That was a nice hit. That was a good classic. So we're kind of on this kick watching movies and have movie night and getting some old DVDs and it's funny, we used to mountains of DVDs, right? Mountains of DVDs and big entertainment centers, and then everyone got rid of them, like VHS tapes, and then DVDs. We got all rid of them for streaming services and everything you could fit on a computer and a little thumb drive. And now we're back to collecting freaking DVDs, and because most of the stuff you can't find in streaming services and all that, and it's a little nostalgic, going and getting a DVD and looking at it in the car ride home and stuff. So a little insight of a little family activity and stuff we enjoy, and watching these old movies and watching Lord of the Rings. That was pretty epic. Watching a little boy watching Lord of the Rings for the first time, That's a pretty epic, life-changing experience. The nerd in me is coming out. I'm sorry. All right, let me read these last little comments, and then we'll get going. Yes, always a faceless producer, or you'll hear about TV shows and networks trying to steal your evidence research or your area, and then go underneath you. I believe Eric from Media Palace. He changed his name to I can't remember his new YouTube channel, but Eric, he does the FOIA requests for government Bigfoot related information and stuff. He's actually found quite a few interesting stuff. He's writing a book about it, but he came out and did a live and stuff and talked about a producer for one of these networks was in contact for him and wanted his research and information, and blowing smoke up his ass, talking about, we'll get you on a show, you can have money. Oh, well, we're gonna have an actor play as you. We're gonna have an actor play you, and with all your research and stuff, a well-known actor is gonna kind of play your part as this researcher and blah 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 blah. And in the end, it was more. I think Eric kind of, basically says that this guy was basically trying to steal his shit, and in the end, it's nefarious and weird and trying to steal his fucking shit and kick him out. So you don't have to pay him, you don't have to get him credit, you don't have to give him fucking shit. And that's a common theme, and that's another aspect of a faceless TV producer or the TV guy who knows everyone. I know everyone. I can make the show happen. I need the shit that I don't got, the actual fucking research, the actual area, that years of experience that we have. But because, we're not TV or politically on their side, left or right or in the middle, or who gives a fuck, they don't want to play ball with you. Or the way I'm speaking, they don't want to play ball. They want easy, controllable people that will jump through hoops for a paycheck, to be famous or whatever, to be controlled. So when the TV producers tells you, well, we're gonna play a little scary music here and have dramatic interaction here, even though there's nothing happening, it's because it's gonna help play with the other interaction we might have had. You're gonna say, yes, sir. Thank you for the check, sir, and thank you for my fame and for whatever perceived gain that person thinks they're getting by basically being controlled like a little puppet or a little bitch, because you're not a free person to think for yourself and do what you want, because, well, I might mess up my contract with the TV, and so I better stay in my box, because if I go outside of my box, I might lose everything. How many people? Well, I think a bunch of island hoppers it's kind of the same issue, It's like you gotta, someone holds something over that you perceived as important. Well, you're gonna do whatever the fuck they want, right? So that perceived fame, fortune, and more opportunity, you're able to jingle in front of people and make them jump however high you want. I don't want to jump. I'm not going to jump. So I don't think people like that. But I can tell you what, most of the people that fucking get the jump, can't even fucking physically jump. If you know what I mean, All right. Foot Clan 5281 says Steve Coles is trying to be a jackass gatekeeper. There has been other people who have said the same kind of thing, accusations of that kind of stuff, but I don't have any personal information or accounts like that. But I have heard from other people. I'm not really going to name them, but I'm sure you can find quite a few people. I'm sure. Like with Doug Hijack, they say the same thing. Doug Hijack's a little bit even more. because there's quite a few people who have come out and said the same thing and dealing with and copyright infringement stuff, which they threw at me and stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, you send him all the information because he's the man who did the TV show on the History Channel. You know what I'm saying about the Monster Quest, yo? It's important. It means that he's up here, and you're down here, because he made the TV show. Oh, he has connections, and he has that little island out there that he goes to. That a Bigfoot has to fucking swim across the fucking lake to get to the island. That's a small little fucking island, and then like when all the people go and chase him, he like jumps off the island and starts going in the water to swim. But you never hear the splash. I mean, I don't know. There may be some legitimate stuff, it could be paranormal and stuff, but like it seems a little weird for a flesh and blood animal to be like stuck on a little fucking island, Says first you start coming at them with the Bigfoot Shoot channel, then you back Mr. Duffy. Then they realize they can't quiet you because you have 4 channels, same message. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's that. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of people that are just pussies. I guess fucking pussies, and people will fall for this stuff, and they'll because you're famous, and they'll always believe you, and they'll believe the hoaxers. They'll do this. It's a fucking fiasco, man. Because the real research being done by real researchers, you try to fucking present it, and no one gives a fuck. None of these gatekeepers, the people that say give us the fucking evidence, they don't really give a fuck if they don't like you, or they don't think that you can be manipulated, or it ain't about the fucking evidence. I can tell you that it ain't about the evidence. Fuck. You want to give me $100,000 to make a documentary? That's what Doug asked for. I mean, if you gave me $100,000, I'll make you a documentary. I'll find evidence. I'll do this. I'll talk to people. I'll network. We'll get this. We'll get that. Seems like you had to have the money first, then you plan everything out. It's not like you already had like everything ready to go and everything research spots ready to go and evidence here, and you already had to research. No, it's like you needed the money to be able to do everything else first. So I could, show the fucking old ass Freeman footage on there with some new cleared up shit. It's like, so yeah, I have a problem with this, fuck. These already rich people who are already on TV want more money for you to for them to make a documentary, not even to find Bigfoot. It's just to make a fucking documentary. At least Survivor Man said he'll try. He's going to make a documentary, but at least, you have some more faith in that from the perceived perspective of he's Survivor Man. But if you look to, I'm not throwing so shade on him, but if you look through who he plays ball with, and and tries to research with, like Stacey Brown and stuff, I mean, that's not a good reliable source. I mean, he gets random pictures of Bigfoot that the piece of that puts it out there, and then when you ask about the background story, it's some guy gave it to me. He's not talking to me anymore. What about that beaver hand? You guys remember the beaver hand? So how can we trust these people? Could be trustworthy, like Survivor, but when they're hanging out with trustworthy people, hoaxers and assholes, and it's like gatekeepers, and it's like, I don't know, man. And that's why I think Bigfoot Odyssey was the opposite, and kind of scared everyone, scared the gatekeepers, scared the government, because we weren't in that box to be controlled, at least as of that. I mean, at that time. And I think that's why it was causing such a ruckus, because it didn't have one of these gatekeepers involved running things, being able to be the authority figure to control everything. But since that's gone away with, there ain't nothing competing with it like that. There ain't nothing like that. So they're editing stuff on streaming platforms from their theatrical or home release versions. Yes. When you talk about DVDs and stuff and all of that. Netflix has removed, I think Robinhood, they've removed a section at the very beginning of the intro and stuff because it was against what they believe, what they want to tolerate and stuff. The original animated Hobbit movies, pretty good. I've never watched the full one, but it's pretty sweet looking and stuff. Or the animated Lord of the Rings one, I guess I should say, because that one looks kind of cool the way they did it and stuff. How they used to do it back then compared to how they do it now and stuff. Very labor intensive and very awesome artists and stuff. There's another one that people have thrown out there for Russell Cord, who is ex-Special Forces in the Army, at least. At least he has the tattoos that you only get when you're part of those kind of, he's like Ranger, Green Beret, or something like that. But yeah, all these network shows, they play the music while evidence is rolling, so you can't even, also they never talk about the evidence again. It's like a one and done thing. There's plenty of feedback on, it's a scripted, controlled TV program. It's programmed. It is maximize entertainment for maximize profit. It's not about finding evidence. It's about maximizing the entertainment value to maximize the max value of the amount of making stuff in their fucking pockets. Okay, that's it. It has nothing to do with real research, nothing to do with finding any evidence other than maybe the perception that if they act like they're real researchers and doing stuff, that the perception will get them more entertainment views. The perception of finding actual evidence will get them more views, which just means more money. They need to, that's why they do all this fucking stupid ass shit, like a bunch of fucking hot air blimps out there with fucking thermal cameras on there, tied up, stationary. One-off things that they only do one episode because it's unique and cool. It's not like they do it every fucking episode to try to get a fucking evidence and all that. So kind of blabbering away as we continue the show. Take a look at the last little comments and all that. Yeah, Doug. Yeah. They don't know. Told Radio, they'll block your ass faster than shit if you disagree with them or whatever. No free speech, no debate, open topics to debate. Although, to be honest, Mr. Duffy, I don't think you're going in there really trying to debate them wholeheartedly. You might come out them a little sideways. But for other people and stuff, it's kind of the same thing. You don't have to take the Duffy approach. All right. That is 100% correct. Oh, it's Prime Video. Yeah. Okay. I thought it was Netflix or whatever. Yeah, they took this quote out of the Robin Hood intro. What I mean, it's nothing bad. It's literally nothing bad, unless you are the island hopper in charge. Then it might be a little bad for you, but I mean, fuck it, you know. The new island hopper in charge, the same as the old island hopper in charge, and the same as the other one that was kissing the wall, and same as the other guy who got voted for, put on the little fucking hat, and kissed the wall, the pagan wall that has nothing to do with any religion, like it's supposed to. A little different conversation and topic, but you can see how disgusted and fed up I am with that kind of stuff. If you want to see that kind of stuff, go on my personal Facebook page, where you probably will be quite surprised on some of my more how fed up I am with this clown world. Don't be butthurt. Don't be upset with me. If you think I'm wrong, just simply Google it. It'll take you 5 fucking seconds. Yeah, Bigfoot boxing. That would be Bigfoot community boxing, calling out hoaxers. I'll fucking box you. Good luck with that. It'd be entertainment. I mean, you could probably make a show. It'd do as good as the first season as Finding Bigfoot and all of that, I'm sure. You know, just because it'd be kind of an awe factor and entertainment. But after the first couple fights, I'm sure of lackluster entertainment, it'd probably go down the drain real fast. Because, you know, there's not very much prime UFC fighters in the Bigfoot community. All right, but that kind of leads into the last little segment, and I'm landing the plane, like Jeff from Pine Island Research says, which I hope he's doing good. I haven't seen him for a while, and, you know, doing all that. I'm sure he's busy with hunting season and all that. Hopefully he's doing good. Always appreciate what his brain was thinking and putting on the plate to serve up to people. So as we land this plane or crash this plane, which I typically do, that's why it's kind of long and drug out, and we kind of crash landing, hop, skip, and jump kind of thing. Crash land the plane. Yeah, you know, we got to exercise and stuff. I was push-ups things and doing the push-ups. Well, guess what? It's almost December, right? What I said last year was I have a goal for December. And the amount of push-ups I want to do December was at a certain amount, and I'm sticking to that. And so I think I'm going to have a little live. We'll do a little push-ups in the morning and stuff. And basically, you know, we're at the road for 10,000 push-ups for December. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do 10,000 push-ups for December. I'm going to film some of it for you guys. Maybe I'll film all of it and put it into a little thing. Whether or not, it doesn't matter, because I hold myself to the discipline of actually going to do it. And yes, so if you guys want to do or able to or want to challenge me or match me, I would love to have other people try to participate. If you can try to do 100 this month, try to do 1,000 this month. Whatever your fitness level is, push yourself and get better and stuff, because I can guarantee you the number one injury that Bigfoot researchers are going to face while in the field are sprained ankles, knees, tears, and things like that from the lack of physical conditioning, being a couch potato, not being in physical shape, that when you get off balance, you can catch yourself without hurting yourself. You know, spraining, twisting, and all that is the most common thing that we will face out there. It's actually very easy to happen. It's not like, you know, it's not a situation that's hard to get into. It's actually very easy to get into. Slipping when things are wet, little sandy areas, mud slips, you know, whatever the situation may be. You're on some unstable rocks, unstable footing, whatever. Crossing a stream, crossing a log, going over a log, you trip on stuff, you step on stuff wrong, something gives way. Easiest thing that can happen, and some of the most preventable too, by physically conditioning your body to be stronger. The stronger your body is, the tougher it is to injury, and the quicker it is to heal injury. there's a lot of stereotypical big hillbilly fat ass drunk, and I don't want to see like that. I don't want to see like that. I think it discredits us when you go on TV or you're I'm the Bigfoot expert, and your gut is a mile high that you can't even see your fucking shoes. I don't think people are going to take that person seriously to be like, yeah, he's out in the woods looking for Bigfoot. He's finding Bigfoot going off trail. How fucking far off trail are you going? What you do? Drop your Twinkies down there, down the hill, and now you got to go get it? Come on, guys. So, like, there's so many benefits and stuff. I'm not trying to rag on people. I've always struggled with being a little overweight or loving to eat and stuff. I've never been like top physical shape and six pack and stuff, but at the same time, I've always been physically adept and strong and stuff, and recognize that, if you don't take care of yourself, you wither away or you implode or explode with, fat and undisciplined behavior and stuff that leads to laziness and stuff. So when it makes no sense when you see a guy who can't see his feet and he says, well, I'm looking for Bigfoot, and I go off trail and I do this and I do that and I spend hours in the woods. It's like, no, you fucking don't. No, you don't. So the road to 10,000, that is what we are going to do. So we're going to do a live show. Basically, all you have to really do is 500 push-ups a day, 5 days a week. Then you do that for 4 weeks, and that's 10,000 push-ups. There you go. That easy. It's that easy, guys. You do have to train your body. Like I said, I think when I started doing the push-up challenge and trying to get other people to do it. I think we had it was the 1,000 push-ups challenge for May. And or May or March, and that was for actually St. Jude's thing that I seen. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm gonna do that and stuff. And then, trying to get you guys to be stronger, to use this energy, and you'll feel better and think better. Everything will be better by simply just exercising. Longevity, health, well-being, your mind, mental stuff, mental constitution and stuff, even everything beneficial. If there is as much pills and people take and all of this and Ozempic, whatever, exercise, you cannot beat it. It beats everything, hands down. So push-ups, do whatever you can. If you can only do, 10 push-ups in the month of December, well, that's 10 more than what you did and 10 more than what you were going to do. And now you're 10 more stronger than what you were. Now do more. So yeah, we are going to do, I'm at the level, I'm going to be doing 10,000 as long as no injury happens. So I have been, for the last couple months and in the entire break, I've been pushing and doing it and getting my body used to it, because obviously if you're a couch potato, if you go try to do 10,000 push-ups or 1,000 push-ups or whatever, you might hurt yourself. You might injure yourself, right? You got to work up to this kind of stuff, right? So we're working up at it. I'm going to do a live show. I'm going to crank out 500 push-ups within an hour. That's the goal. We're going to try to do it pretty fast, but it depends. I know I usually work out with music and stuff. So without music, I don't know. Maybe it might take me a little longer and stuff like that. But I don't want to get copyrighted for music and stuff. So I don't know how I'm going to. I might have headset on with maybe my phone and stuff. But also, there's other people that go live and they listen to music all the time and they don't get in trouble. So, but we'll crank out 500 push-ups when we go live. Next week sometime, as we get prepared to do the 10,000 push-ups in December. So we'll be doing 500 push-ups every day, 5 days a week. That is 2,500 push-ups every 5 days with 2 days rest. And then we'll have 10,000 push-ups by the end of December. But I am going to throw in some more reps into there because I want to do more than 10,000. I don't want to just, even if it's 10,001, at least I can say I did 10,001 push-ups in the month of December. So, and then we're going to keep going on and on and on and on and on there. So And that's about it, guys. So I'm gonna get off. I hope you enjoy this. We're gonna be back on every single week, maybe twice a week. We have enough shows and stuff. Especially when I do we'll keep doing it. Laughing at your comment. I'm not sure what you're talking about. These crystal beats, those beat crystals, or those headphones. I don't know. I did a lot of push-ups this year. I know that. I haven't necessarily kept track of all the push-ups, but I have definitely cranked out thousands of push-ups this year. That is for sure. Actually, in this month of November, I am a little less than 10,000, actually. There's some days that I didn't work out, like Friday, yesterday. I didn't get the 500 and stuff. So, but in December, no more skipping it. So I'm very confident I'm gonna do, as long as no injury happens and stuff. I'm pretty sure it's gonna work out. And then I don't know, we'll do something else crazy for next year or something, or go up and up and up and up and up and up. Because we're trying to be the best version of ourselves, so that we will have the best version of our research and findings and critical thinking skills, and it applies to everything. If you are the best version of yourself outside of this Bigfoot community, you're going to be the best version of yourself for this community and for the research also. All right, guys, that's enough. Foot Clan. That's actually pretty funny. That's actually kind of funny. Mr. Wolf eating 10,000 chicken wings at Buffalo. Yeah. That's about it. It's the only 10,000 reps he's getting in. That's for sure. We'll probably talk more about that drama and stuff, because actually all the people came on my channel and, saying, Abnormal is a pedophile and this and that. You guys go check out Arcane Paranormal Adventures. She's doing all these different shows, not only showing that isn't being charged with anything. There is no criminal case, nothing. Showing how that's a complete lie, showing the legal documents, showing everything that happened, proving how Wolf is a liar. Did you guys actually know that Anthony filed affidavits in Oklahoma State against Mike and stuff? But they're not involved. And that little bitch ass Melissa, if you guys don't know, affidavits, if you lie on those, you face jail time. Oh, it's all coming out. And so Jessica's actually showing all that evidence. There's a bunch of big video series, but last two and stuff, it will blow your mind away with text messages and stuff to show that there actually was a conspiracy to call Mike a pedophile and have his kid taken away. And did you guys know that Josh did a donation drive and got Mike's kid some presents for his birthday or whatever? That's kind of weird that you would, for someone you're not involved with. Because I'm only talking about this because, when I had my run-in with Josh and was talking about this, people were calling me out saying it's fake, blah, blah, blah. I think Brett came on here and calling him a fucking pedophile and all this because he had a phone call with Josh. Now evidence is coming out showing how much of a lie that was. So, yeah, it's a little weird that Josh would go buy another man's kid for some fucking presents for him, interfering in the man's life like that. Like, that's some fucking weird ass shit, don't you think? Kind of weird, don't you think? I don't know. Just saying, guys. Hey, just saying. There's a reason why Mike's not in jail. There's a reason why there's no criminal charges. You can't find any criminal fucking papers anywhere. Just saying, because, you know. So go check that out. She's doing all this and stuff. It's coming all out. Seems like it's legit. I don't know, when you have to file in 2 separate counties for the same issue and both counties aren't doing anything, maybe there is nothing. So you know, there's that. I just want to clear that out because there might be a little show on that. Maybe we'll have Jessica on and stuff. We can talk about her stuff, but she's showing the evidence. She's showing papers, text messages, screenshots from Josh's group, from his own group talk, everything. It's all coming out. It's fake, how they lie, how they manipulate. It's all coming out. And now all of a sudden someone has, you know, fucking aneurysm and stuff and tumors and shit. And I can tell you something from experience, personal experience. Someone with a fucking aneurysm doesn't last too long, guys. And they get a surgery immediately. Not get pushed back a day or two or weeks, a couple weeks, or come back. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. All right, guys. So we are finally off. I think we covered all the updates and more section of that. So I just find it funny because there's a lot of people coming out drama and big old fat wolf is having a fucking meltdown. I keep hearing and stuff, like so much that I should, like, you know, recommend to go check it out. So it must be pretty bad, you know? So I don't know. It's all coming out. Evidence is coming out. It's coming out. It's coming out. So it's pretty one-sided. It has been one-sided, and now it's all coming out. And I don't hear any apologies. I hear nothing but crickets from a lot of people, because a lot of people don't know where to look either, too. So check out Arcane Paranormal Adventures, I believe, with Jessica, and she has a couple of them. They're called like Screaming Demons, like the Melissa Files or something like that. So you can find that stuff. Yeah, so that's anyways, we're gonna let go and stuff. I'm just having so much fun and stuff, and so be on the lookout for tomorrow for Nikki's show. That might be a interesting show. Maybe we'll have 2 people on talking about stuff. Might show up, maybe he won't. Maybe it'll be kind of a slugfest. If you guys don't remember, Brent and Randy came on my show, actually went at it a little bit. And then eventually they actually came together and settled the differences and walked away. I wouldn't say, you know, as friends, but like at a better understanding, and weren't hot-headed. And now they're kind of, or maybe Brent's like that. I don't know. We're going to find out. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we won't. I don't know. That's on the schedule for tomorrow. I'm going to be in the chat in there. So I'll learn that. You guys take it easy. Have fun. And I will catch you on the next live show. And hopefully there are more people, more discussions. We'll throw the link out and stuff in some of these shows. Have more people come on. Play nice, don't play nice. There might be some shows where, you know, everything's open. But we're going to have fun. We're going to enjoy it. Like I said, try to be better for yourself, better for your research and stuff. And stand up for what you believe in. Call out the bullshit. And don't be scared. There's nothing to be scared about. Especially from some fucking dumbass Bigfoot people. If they're so adamant of trying to keep you down and hold stuff over you, that just means that they're too weak, that when they fall they will never get back up. There's a big difference. There's a reason why people are scared and they force other people to do things, you know, but through blackmail and ultimatums and gatekeeping. That's not a good person. That's not a happy person. That's not a whole person. That's not a, you know, very, you know, all of that, you know. So we'll talk about that more, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, morning, evening, whatever you find yourself doing. And may God bless each and every single one of you. And until next time.